Welcome to the third episode of SYSTRA's Connected Careers podcast, where we're focusing on our wonderful degree apprentices. I'm Morgan Coates. I'm a technical coordinator for utilities here at SYSTRA, and I'll be your host today. I'm a graduate myself, and it's a pleasure to work with other early careers colleagues across the business in the UK and Ireland. At SYSTRA, our businesses are people. We value and respect everyone at every stage of their career. Offering the opportunity to nurture young talent is an honour and something we take very seriously. Our degree apprenticeship programme gives people the chance to develop their knowledge, skills and behaviour needed to build a career. Gaining important qualifications while you work can be thoroughly rewarding. So, I'm being joined by Joe Dean. He is a degree apprentice in the civil engineering team here at SYSTRA.
Yes, indeed I am. Joseph Dean. I work with SYSTRA as a degree apprentice in the civil engineering team. I'm based in Bristol, the lovely city, and it's great to be on here today with you, Morgan.
Fabulous. Okay, so start off, what is civil engineering? What does that actually mean?
Well, that's a really great question, to be fair. I think it's more broad than most people, I suppose, initially anticipate. But I guess maybe you can look at it a different way. Look at mechanical engineering, for example, which is the thing that pieces which move essentially, and you look at what is not mechanical engineering, which is essentially everything else. So anything from buildings to railway lines to roads, anything like that all comes under the remit of civils.
You're right. Engineering of the built environment.
Exactly.
As it's
the Wikipedia description.
It's a technical definition, and I prefer to call it the best branch of engineering, but that's just me. So yeah, okay. So you're working as a degree apprentice. Is it the best part of 2 years now?
No. We're about 13 months in. 15 months in. Sorry, so only just over a year.
Okay, fabulous. You've made such an impression. What can I say?
Thank you.
Okay, so you've done your A levels. What were they in?
My A levels were in physics, maths, and computer science.
Okay.
So yeah, quite a good set there.
Yeah, I mean sciencey, but relatively broad. The computer science has a bit of extra.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ganache.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, so was degree apprenticeships? Was that I'm going for degree apprenticeships, or was it maybe I'll do a degree apprenticeship, I'll do uni? I don't really know.
Well, I'd never really heard of them. Obviously, I'd always heard of traditional apprenticeships, sort of the level 3 level and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'd done A levels, which they were the equivalent for. So it was never something I really wanted to do. I always wanted to go to the next step. And it wasn't until I did a careers meeting at school that one of the teacher leading it explained to me what degree apprenticeships were. I told her my interest in rail, and she actually showed me a railway company's degree apprenticeship scheme. And I thought, wow, this is fantastic. I can do a degree in something I enjoy, and obviously work at the same time and have it all fully funded. So it was like from that moment on, it was like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. So I basically went home, did research on them, told my parents, and they were like, yes, that's great, because they hadn't heard of a similar thing either.
Okay.
So obviously at the level 6 level, and I just decided, that's what I wanted to go for. And obviously I ended up seeing what the options were in the rail industry for degree apprenticeships, and there are quite a lot. And that's kind of how I'm here today, I suppose.
That's where you started. So
exactly.
Was it more, for you, was it, I want a career in rail?
Yes.
Was that the starting point?
Yes, that was.
And then you kind of came back, because I think for a lot of people, I know for me it was more, I want probably a career in like engineering. I really like civil. I love architecture. Let's see where we work from there and build upwards. And I feel like you've come from you've come from the end point.
Yeah,
and you've come back.
Exactly. Climbing down the mountain, I guess. But it's yes, and it's always had to be rail. I mean, I'm a massive rail enthusiast and that sort of thing. As a lot of my colleagues will know, I'm really passionate about rail and that sort of thing. So that's where I wanted to end up, essentially. And that's where I am. So I'm very pleased.
You're very pleased. You've got to your aim.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And your parents were like, did they have no awareness of degree apprenticeships at all?
No, they didn't have any awareness, obviously, other than the traditional apprenticeships. But then after researching degree apprenticeships, you actually find out more about apprenticeships in general. Because obviously they're always a thing where it's like, you go to college, you go to work. And that's really what the idea of most apprenticeships are to people. And I think there's potentially some sort of negative connotations with apprenticeships. Potentially it's like, oh, they didn't go on and do their A levels, they didn't that. But I think it's really, when you understand it and you're in it, you kind of think, wow, that's what they are. They're really, really good. And obviously degree apprenticeships are even different again. And where they literally are, I mean, I suppose in some respects, a university scholarship, really, because it's
Yeah.
fully funded. And I don't think people appreciate that, particularly compared to my peers who have now gone on to university full time. I suppose in some respects, they're quite jealous.
They've been shortchanged. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a connotation around apprenticeships in general, around them being quite, you do an apprenticeship in bricklaying
Yeah,
or
exactly.
carpentry
Yeah.
or something like that, and not these more sort of, I guess, sort of white collar jobs,
Yes.
which
Keep
have
industry
really,
moving, really.
really
Yeah.
expanded even since like when I left school.
Exactly, yeah. The
only-
last sort of 5 years and that sort of thing.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, I think it's important as well that now being an apprentice, I have an understanding of even the people doing bricklaying apprenticeships and how the benefits they're getting out of that, which aren't necessarily clear to someone who hasn't done an apprenticeship. And I think apprenticeships in general, across the board, I say are extremely important.
yeah. I mean, they're sort of core to government policy on like bridging that skills gap.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a massive shortage of skilled employees, and apprenticeships are a really good way for employers to build the workforce that they want.
Yeah, exactly.
I know in in the civil engineering sector, 500,000 people have left the industry net since 2008 out of a workforce of 2.5 million. That's a significant amount.
Yeah.
And employers like SYSTRA are looking to get the people
Get back up again.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
get
exactly.
the staff that they need to deliver the massive infrastructure projects
Yeah.
that are currently going on and are planned, but that we don't have
The people
employees
and
to
the
do.
skills. Yeah, exactly.
And the skills and the behaviours as well.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously a really big part of apprenticeships.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, say it's all the sort of, it's obviously the skills, knowledge, and behaviours, and how those tie in with your work and how you develop as a person, really, and sort of move forward in your career and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Because obviously, I mean, having the knowledge is one thing.
Yeah.
But being able to apply it is a totally different beast.
Exactly, that's arguably more important, because what's the point in having something if you can't use it? But it's exactly, so it's yeah, and it's how, and it's even down to how you interact with people and act as part of a team or independently, and that sort of thing. It's all really important stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you do gain those skills in a traditional university environment, but nowhere near to the level of employment.
Exactly.
Like, there's hard deadlines.
Yeah.
There's costs involved. There's
it's real
you're
time,
delivering.
exactly.
You're delivering for real people at the
Yeah.
end of the day, and university can't simulate that.
No, exactly. It's proper experience.
The university bit of your apprenticeship.
Yeah.
What are you doing there? How does yours work? Because there's a few different structures.
There are. Yeah. So I know even within our company alone, there's obviously a variety of different options and placements within that. But for myself, it's 1 day a week at a local university. Only a bus or 2 rides away, and pretty close to my home, pretty close to the office. So yeah, just 1 day a week out for over the next sort of 5 years. Well, 4 years now.
Yeah.
And obviously doing sort of lectures for that whole day, and then obviously taking home assignments that I'll complete and sort of my own time, like any other sort of university or school environment.
Yeah.
And obviously the rest of the days of the week is at work.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fair enough. But even when your university isn't running term time, if you like, there's still dedicated training time.
There is, yeah, exactly. So this is the important part of apprenticeships. Obviously, they want you to do at least 20% off the job hours, which may have been mentioned by someone else. I'm not too sure. But basically, 20% off the job hours, basically when that's new training, and that's part of the apprenticeship agreement. So typically for me, I'll do my own research or carry on with university bits, sort out CPD sort of stuff, CPD being continuous personal development. Something like that, basically making sure that I'm working towards a professional standing as well.
Yeah.
So it's important to meet sort of those targets.
We've talked about this a bit, but like to meet your incorporated engineering
Exactly.
sort of requirements, which will give you the ability to make real engineering decisions.
Of course.
Once you've finished your
degree and all that.
Degree.
Yeah, and the apprenticeship, of course. So no, there's that time dedicated, which is extremely important.
Yeah.
To make sure that people are meeting those sort of things and getting that experience.
Yeah, I mean the experience is the big payoff. I mean, there's a monetary value to degree apprenticeships, you know.
Yes.
My
Can't forget
64
that.
grand or whatever is in my student loan account, staring me in the
Not
face.
in mine.
But yeah, it is the ability to, you're entering the workforce earlier,
Yeah.
you're gaining the skills, and by the time you have finished it, after 5 years or whatever, you know, I spent 4 years at university to get my master's, you'll be applying for the assistant engineer roles, probably,
Exactly.
engineer roles.
Yeah.
You'll be that step ahead, whereas I'm still on a graduate scheme that lasts for 3 years or so.
Exactly. So it's so yeah, there's benefits sort of across the board, of course. I mean, I think I say arguably, unless you're after sort of that full-time university experience, apprenticeships are a no-brainer. I mean, the only thing is obviously to bear in mind is that they are competitive because of that.
Yes.
And I don't think people who go to university appreciate that really getting an apprenticeship can be harder than getting into university.
Oh, it absolutely
Because
is.
everyone always makes me think, oh, I wonder if I'll get into my favourite university, I wonder this. And it's like, I wonder if I get into an apprenticeship, and people don't realise how much more difficult that can actually be.
Yeah, it's definitely as competitive as getting to a Russell Group university.
Exactly, yeah.
There's no skirting the fact that it's not the easy option. I think that's a big barrier to people, to be honest, because going to university is relatively easy.
Yeah, I suppose arguably it could be just seen as the next natural step.
Yeah.
From A levels and sort of college, school, that sort of thing. Whereas this is a different kettle of fish. You know, I mean, even on a personal level, you're becoming a lot more independent. You're working, for example, full time, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's so yeah, a lot of change to take on, as well as learning and everything else.
Yeah. No, I mean, building those professional skills.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're supported in that by the degree apprenticeship program.
Yes.
To ease that transition into work, because you don't have that like free trial of university, or not so free trial.
Unfortunately not.
So,
yes.
Outside of your day-to-day civil engineering,
yes,
that you do,
yeah.
I guess your degree is probably uniquely useful. I think
it
in
is.
your sort of personal life.
I mean, in my personal life, I think this is an important thing. It's finding something that you're passionate about to do as an apprenticeship and that sort of thing. And for me, working in the rail industry and sort of engineering in it as an extension of that is really special to me. Obviously, I'm really passionate about rail. I've grown up with the railways, that sort of thing, and I'm a trustee and a volunteer of a local heritage railway. So run steam trains, that sort of thing, along an old railway line. And obviously, on that sort of scale, we have exactly the same sort of things we tackle on a day-to-day basis at work. So obviously, we've got permanent way, we've got civil engineering, we've got railway
permanent
stations.
Way is another way of talking about railways, by the way.
Yes, permanent way is basically the track and sort of the formation, that in simple terms.
The stones.
The stones, of course, the ballast. It's obviously, we've got the stations to deal with, and obviously the trains themselves. And for me, obviously, I mean, I work on railways in the week and run a railway on the weekend, essentially. That's how I've always seen it. But it's great. It's great. I mean, as long as I keep loving trains, of course.
I think you've touched on a really important point, to be honest, about, I think, making career decisions in general, not even just university and apprenticeships, is that you have to think really hard about what you actually want to do.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
If you're going to university and you don't like what you're studying, you're not going to succeed at it.
Yeah.
You're not going to enjoy it. And you're not going to enjoy the career path that leads to. And it's the same with an apprenticeship. It's probably slightly more important with an apprenticeship just because you're tied in for a little bit longer.
Exactly. I think you are right. Yeah. So it's important. Yeah. It's important you make those decisions and it's something you enjoy or something you feel you'll get a benefit out of, at least when you get to the end anyway. But it's, and as you say, apprenticeships are slightly longer because you're only doing one day a week or whatever at university, or a week every month or something. So it is important you make those right decisions. And whether that be on, I want to be here in the end game, and that's the degree that will get me there, or this is what I really enjoy and I know there's good careers in it, that's more similar to myself, then that can always be a reason to go with it, sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of an interesting point around like specialization and stuff, I think. Especially like your degree apprenticeship, I guess, is a bit more broad than some others.
It is just sort of essentially civils, but obviously I have my own knowledge on railways, which I apply to my day-to-day job, which benefits me because even some of my colleagues will occasionally come and ask me questions regarding general railway stuff, which doesn't necessarily affect their work, but it's just useful for them to know,
Yes.
sort of thing. Because we're just applying civils in a railway environment, but sometimes I have a slightly larger sort of understanding of sort of what's going on around us.
How
So
it
the
matches
wider
together.
picture.
Yeah, and obviously because we sit in a design office
Yeah.
all week, and we don't go out onto the railway that often.
Yeah.
So you're bringing that kind of unique perspective, and I think that really highlights the value of apprentices to employers.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they're investing
Yeah.
tens of thousands of pounds in your
Exactly.
training, in employment,
Yeah.
is to bring in those unique perspectives.
Exactly. It's kind of, I say, when going for a job, going for anything, going for apprenticeship, going for uni, you're selling yourself, aren't you? And for me, going into a rail company, that was one of my sales points, I suppose.
Yeah.
And for you, someone else going into an apprenticeship in something else, that one of their sales points could be, oh, I enjoy doing this, or I've done this before, and that sort of thing. And it's literally as simple as that, really.
So, as an apprentice, you've obviously got a bit of a unique insight into the workings of business
Yeah,
from kind
definitely.
of a younger age, a younger stage. SYSTRA, as a business, we have offices all over the country, and we're involved in rail projects worldwide. And I think for apprentices, that gives a really good opportunity to see the world, work with people from across the world,
Definitely, yeah.
and also, you know, travel the country as an individual.
Yes.
So, what kind of opportunities have you been given to exercise that independence?
Well, it's definitely was a big step to begin with. I mean, I'd never stayed away from home by myself before, with no one else, obviously
Yeah.
school camps, that sort of thing. But it was a big step. I mean, it was about 2 weeks into my apprenticeship, and they said, "Oh, you're going to come to Birmingham." I'm from Bristol, so a bit of a trip, not that far, for this sort of event. I was thinking, wow, this is incredible. You know, it's great traveling on the train by myself, sort of like a business person, really.
Yeah.
Only at the time, I'm 18 years old, but and then it kind of like, well, we've got to go here, got to go there, and see different people and see different parts of the business. And it was fantastic to go to different places, from Reading to Birmingham to London to York to even Manchester and places like that. A place I'd never been to before. I'd love to have gone. I love traveling different cities and that sort of thing. So it's fantastic. And obviously staying over in hotels overnight, in different places with and without different colleagues and that sort of thing, going out, that sort of thing on evenings, having a meal together and that sort of thing, and talking about life and work. It really is a lot of independence that you take on all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But after a short while, you get used to it, and it's absolutely fantastic going to different places.
No, it's really good. And I mean, you're building that community as well across the company.
Exactly, yeah. Seeing different, it really is important to obviously make connections and see other people, and sort of travel to events as well, different seminars, different locations where you can connect with people on your same sort of level or higher, or learn, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really important, and something I always try to make the most out of, really.
Yeah. No, of course. I mean, you've got to, haven't you? Right?
Exactly,
It's a huge opportunity. And I mean, as early careers professionals, there's nothing to stop. I've travelled to Paris to work with colleagues who I work with out there and things like that. You know, there's huge opportunities if you put yourself out there and grasp them.
Yeah.
Circling back to kind of work and stuff.
Yep.
Obviously, SYSTRA operates a very hybrid model. You know, we've got colleagues across the UK and across the globe, all working together on the same projects, in the same teams, integrated together. How do you find working in that hybrid environment as sort of an early careers professional and as an apprentice?
I think at times it can be challenging, like anything, but then there's obviously the benefits from it as well. I mean, for me, I've never worked before I started with SYSTRA, so whatever I was going to do, it was going to be new, and I was going to find my feet anyway. And I mean, for me, I'm able to travel, see different colleagues. I'm able to work from home. I'm able to work from the office. It's a very hybrid model, and it works for everyone. And at the end of the day, people are always on the end of the line, so you can always pick up the phone and call them and ask for support and that sort of thing. And it's equivalent to being in person, really. It's very good, really.
But you're still getting that support. You're still
Exactly.
getting that.
And I think that's the way lots of businesses are now.
Yeah.
And you just got to make the most of it, really.
No, it's an unavoidable fact of working life, isn't it?
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
We're going to be working in this hybrid environment, and
Yeah. But then that's how we get the best people together.
Yeah.
And produce the best stuff, because we can't expect everyone to be sort of in one location somewhere in the country and have all the best quality people and that sort of thing.
yeah. No, I mean, it's a challenge, but it's also
It's a strength.
It's a strength as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's enough from us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And I'd also like to say thank you to York and North Yorkshire Combined Authority, who we've been working with to produce this Connected Careers podcast. SYSTRA is one of their cornerstone employers, and we're working together to promote early careers education for young people and to get them into education, employment, and training. We're helping young people to build fabulous careers for themselves so they can make a difference across the UK and the world. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.